Hi, and welcome to Module 1. This is hands down my favorite fucking activity to do. It's really important, I think, to sit down and do this multiple times because shit changes, right? In life, what's important to us. It's really a powerful, quick way to get to the bottom of what the fuck do I actually want? What the fuck do you actually want? I bet if I just throw that question at you like that, you can sit with it for quite a while and still not really have any solid answers, right? So get a pen and paper and let's do this activity together because this is really going to get us thinking about what actually matters. And here's the thing, what actually matters to you right now in this moment? You might make that decision based on what you've got and life as you currently know it. And quite often when we're in the middle of it, it's really fucking hard to get out of it and like look at it from like outside of you, right? Outside of the situation, because a lot of the things that feel like deeply important to you, like right now, in this exact moment, excuse me, they're not actually, like they don't actually matter. They only feel that important and that significant because you've placed that importance and that significance on them. Yeah, let's just do this activity and see what comes up, because this is how you really get to remove yourself from that and get really present in your body with what you actually give a fuck about. Okay, so you've got your pen and paper. I'm going to start reading out some questions, and I really want you to take your time with this, mull it over. Do it as I'm reading out these questions and just see what comes up. Okay, you ready? I want you to imagine that you've just gone to the doctor and they have sat you down and they've told you that quite simply, you only have 7 days to live. There is no cure. There is not a single fucking thing you can do to reverse or make a difference. All you now have is time, 7 days of it, in fact, to go and do all the things that you've ever wanted to do. All right, you feel the exact way you feel now, so you're not like your health's not deteriorating, you just have a ticking fucking clock. How do you spend those 7 days? Who are you spending your time with? Who aren't you spending your time with? From the minute you open your eyes in the morning, what are you doing? What time are you opening your eyes up in the morning? What time are you closing them at night? How much sleep are you getting? Who are you waking up next to? What would you eat? Who would you see? What would you say to your friends, to your family, to everyone and anyone that you come into contact with? Is there anything that you need to get off your chest? Have there ever been situations where you haven't said what you've actually wanted to say? What music would you listen to? How often would you listen to it? At what volume would you listen to it at? What would you spend your money on? Really think about that one. Like, where would you spend your money? What would it go on? What would you wear? Are there any jobs or tasks that you've been avoiding, but with only 7 days to live, you'd have to fucking sort out? That's my favorite one. What wouldn't you spend your time doing? Where would you go? Who would you go there with, if anyone? Would you go to work? Would you show up in your business? What exactly would you do if you did say yes to those? Are there any relationships that you would repair? Are there any that you would dissolve? Or would you be happy just to leave them? How would you like to be remembered? What do you want people to say about you at your funeral or your wake as you're buried? What kind of conversations do you imagine that they'd be having about you? Please, if you need to, rewind this and listen to those again, but take your time with this and really sit with it. Each and every one of those questions has been thought out and designed to get you to activate parts of you that you've probably buried down. I want you to get really clear, just as clear on what you wouldn't be doing as you are about what you would be doing. They equally matter. This isn't about focusing on positives or negatives. This is just like, you have a fucking week to live your best life. What the fuck does that look like? I want the details. Like, what kind of smells can you smell? Get really fucking lost in this. What kind of conversations are you having? Do you have kids? What do you want to leave behind for them? How do you want to be remembered by them? This activity can bring up a lot of things, and good. I want you to feel those things. I want you to sit with them. If it's making you uncomfortable or you're resisting it, sit with that. Get curious. This isn't a matter of being realistic. You've got a fucking week to live, mate. You're not going to be like, oh my God, but I've got time, because you don't have time. This is it. Pause this and keep writing, because I'm going to keep talking. Classic Amee. All right. So I would actually really like you to spend a minute a day, every day, for the next 14 days, adding to this, because this list will continue to grow. And please know that this list is always going to change. So come back in and check in, maybe once every quarter, when the seasons change, maybe check in. I say the seasons because obviously what I fucking care about and where I want to do it is going to change season to season, right? Because I'm very weather focused. It's all about the sun and the wind for me. And also, at least once, if you do have kids, do this activity with your kid. Now, looking at this list, this is your living bucket list. And maybe let's take this on for three-month chunks. What in there, out of all of those things, could you start implementing into everyday life now? What could you bring in weekly? What could you bring in monthly? What could you bring in quarterly? Now, if going on really cool holidays or vacations or whatever is at the top of it, there are places that you've always wanted to see that you can't, book it the fuck in now. Book it in and start, because you are only going to do the things that you plan to do. Having them there as a one-day thing isn't enough, because you don't know how much time you have. You just don't know. And if you are lucky enough to know when your time's almost up and you've got time to go and action these, you might not be in the kind of health or be as able-bodied as you are right now to fucking do it. So all of these things that actually really matter to you are things that you can start doing right fucking now. And if they're not, that's okay. Leave them there. Because in one of the other modules that we get through, I'm going to talk to you about unreasonable action. I'm going to disrupt your fucking thought process, your life, everything in one conversation. And I really want this to be one of those conversations too, right? Because this is important. And this is where you yourself are going to start to notice a fucking theme emerging of what matters to you. Now, please know, I don't want you to start busting your ass trying to get every single one of these things done each day. That's not the point of this. The point is, why fucking wait until you're about to die or you've retired or when the time's right, which we all know is never going to come, to start implementing these things, to start wearing the fucking good clothes, using the good china, you know, like obviously that's an analogy. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's quite literal for you. I don't fucking know. But that's my point. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? It's just reasons and excuses. The time is now. You're alive now. You're here right now in this fucking moment. And it's up to you to start taking life by the balls and fucking, I was going to say milking it, and that's so disgusting. Go where you will with your mind, but you know what I mean. You don't have time to sit there and be like, one day, this is a dream. Start making it happen now. Look at what you can immediately integrate and start there. Okay, we're going to get into the rest. We're going to talk about the goals. We're going to talk about all of that. You've got time. For right now, I really just want you to focus on this number one activity and how it will look in your life right now. And honestly, if you're sitting there and you're like, fuck, I can't bring any of this into my life right now, it's time to start reevaluating what's actually fucking important to you. Because sometimes we prioritize survival. Sometimes we fall into this trap of Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, bust my ass, be the best employee. Because, you know, without me, the company's going to crumble, and we get into this self-righteous martyr bullshit that is basically a form of self-sabotage, an excuse not to show up, not to live. And also, guys, I said job, but that works for your business too. Because quite often we end up replacing our job with our business and working more. Like, yeah, okay, it's better because it's ours, but is it? Is it if the cost means that you don't enjoy your life, you've got no quality of life, you're not saying fuck yes to life? Sit with all of that and be really fucking honest with yourself. No one's gonna see this. Don't bullshit it. Don't start spitting out things that you think you should be writing. Be very fucking real and very fucking honest. That's how you get the most out of this. If you want to share, I'm available. Like, fucking share them. And if not, that's totally fine. But if you could at least share 2 things that you're going to start integrating into your life and where they are going to come in. Are they going to come in daily? Are they going to come in weekly? Are they going to come in monthly? Are they going to come in quarterly? Share 2. And let's just hold each other accountable with that, right? That's it. Go be fucking awesome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the work. Do not forget to keep adding to this, just 1 minute a day. I would actually go pick a good time when you're usually not working, maybe like just before you go to bed, and set a reminder on your phone so an alarm goes off and it's like, stop and think about what would you do if you only had a week to live. Like, call it that, right? For 2 weeks. Every day for 2 weeks, and go do it with your kids. It'd be a really fucking fun activity to do with them. Bye, guys.